delay our decision. But we do target ourselves with a 90-day window to give the SME a decision. We try our best to meet that wherever possible. Okay, you've done the application, you submit it. What do we look for within the project plan? Most importantly, top left-hand corner, we look at the level of innovation. And the key term that we use is really that standard product development isn't funded, incremental improvements aren't funded. What we look for is a stepwise change in a technology. And we sort of pun the phrase revolutionary versus evolutionary. Yeah? And in doing this big step forward to improve the technology, it has to carry a lot of technical risk and challenge, which put off traditional investors to fund. Importantly, linked to innovation and technical risk and challenges, you have to have, obviously, freedom to operate with IPR. I mean, that was touched on this morning. You have to either demonstrate that you're going to patent what you've got, or if you are using anyone else's IPR, you have to have full rights to be able to exploit the technology and own all the IPR that belongs to. The project costs obviously can include patent costs, so we can make a contribution to that. Staff salaries and project overheads can be covered. External consultants or subcontractors to be used can be costs that can be attributed to the project, along with any materials that are going to be consumed and any other expenditures such as TNS for project team members. It's not just a grant to fund R&D for R&D's sake. You have to have obviously a market potential to get that product to market and show return on our investment, and more importantly on your investment and effort that you've put into the project. So we look for a detailed business plan that shows how the grant is going to benefit the business and our investment in the long term. And we look at things like competitor analysis. Have you done your homework and checked out all of the competition out there? Some applications we've had are saying this is the only one of its kind in existence, but a quick Google search does show competitive technology. There is a list of the ones we use on our website who will assess it independently, the technology, and help us make our decision. So it's not really an internal decision. They do help us, they do help us make the decision, the external referees. If it's successful in the first hurdle, which is the technical and innovation assessment, it would go into a financial assessment. And literally, we sort of put a fine tooth comb through the applicant's business, really. We look at the financial additionality, which is the term I hadn't met before I joined the agency, but my understanding of it is it's the need for grant. And ideally, we'd like to see a funding gap in the company's cash flow that without the public intervention, the project won't happen or will happen very, very slowly, and the grant will speed it up. It also can mean that if there is a funding gap and you can't bring new people into the company that would deliver the project more quickly, that could be seen as financial additionality. If the company has got larger cash reserves, showing on its balance sheet, if they can be demonstrated to be allocated for other business development projects that aren't as risky as this project, and obviously that will be taken into an account. Linked to the financial additionality, there's obviously the management ability and staff expertise is looked at, and if there is a sort of deficit in every area and subcontractors or consultants are being brought in to address that project risk, and that would be seen a plus for the project. The finance team always like to see a detailed breakdown of all of the costs applied for. So if it's the project plan will have people allocated to tasks. The tasks will have mandates associated to them, which also should link back to the total salary number that you're asking for. And also any materials and capital equipment you buy, we'd like to see, like we hope that you do this anyway, but to have competitive quotes showing best value for our funding input and best value for your own money that you put into the project as well. Track record. Obviously, with startups, it's difficult. But if it's an existing business, we're going for a few years. We obviously look at their previous track record of bringing innovation to market. And if sometimes companies decide to diversify their business to go into a new area, and that would be seen as a strength, where they recognise the current market is flagging, so they want to diversify into a new market that's emerging. That will be seen as a plus. If they have had public support in the past, we look at have they exploited it, have they sat on it, have they taken it to market. If there's a genuine reason for them not taking it to market, obviously we'll take that into account. And last, importantly, we have to make sure that the company is viable from past trading performance and future projections. We can't put money into a company that's going to go under within a couple of months of you starting the project with them. Okay, this is a snapshot of the applications we received up until, I think, May 2008. So it's a couple of months out of date, but it sort of shows that we had a total of 148 applications, of which, look, doing the bottom two first, 3% still in the pot being assessed, 70% withdrawal, which may seem like a high figure, but the reason for withdrawal is it's very various. Sometimes a company's not an SME, they're part of a group. Sometimes they apply for a research or a development project, so they have to withdraw and resubmit. Sometimes there's a major flaw in the project and they withdraw and choose or not to resubmit. So that accounts for the high level of withdrawals. But if you look at the approved versus the rejected, there's a fairly good, almost 50-50 split of projects that go through to the final decision with a good level of success. So at the moment, I think we've got roughly, 60 projects that we've funded. Some are finished and some are still in action. Up until May 2008, we actually awarded £3.7 million of grant for R&D funds into SMEs within the Southwest region, and we'd committed 5.2 million to make sure the projects that we've committed, 5.2 million left committed to projects that are currently in progress. I think if we were to do a snapshot now, we'd have nearer 4 million and nearer 5.5 million that I expect. It's a rolling program. We did have deadlines and competitions when we first started the scheme, which is how the old regime ran it. But we've decided now to go for an open rolling program, so there's no pressure. Otherwise, that does create big bottlenecks in the application assessment, which isn't good when people are expecting a quick turnaround on these. The forms of further information, you're welcome to sort of ask me questions at the end or approach me at the end of the event, but you can download all the information you need from the website that's listed there. There's a telephone number as well, which goes into the R&D team. So if there's any questions that you have, you want to pick up the phone, feel free to give us a call. Most companies are very capable of putting together an application themselves. There are consultants out there who can help. Business Link is always there to give application support if needed. But generally, if it's your project, your company, you're the best person to put together an application. Business Link is there to help support on, say, doing your business plan. And any sort of general queries, we're happy to answer those, on the phone, should you be putting in an application you aren't sure of what to put in what section. The guidelines do stipulate 1 page for this and half a page for your marketing, but we do say that if you haven't got enough space to express your idea, feel free to expand on those sections, include appendices, include pictures, because there's an external technical assessment at high level, but the panel are not technical experts, so they like to see the general picture of the project as well. And I think that's me done. Thank you.